Hey everybody, we're back, and happy Easter, happy Saturday. And I did a one a day, and it was called Stop Eating. No, it wasn't. It was called Mercury Rising. So take a look on my Facebook. It was supposed to be live, but I was live on TikTok and Instagram, but when it came to Facebook, it didn't go on. So I didn't do it live, but I just did it about a half hour ago. Please take a look at it. It's called Mercury Rising. It's very important. It's about how we unconsciously torture the living crap out of our kids, okay? All right. And understand something. For most, Easter is going to be just a poisonous situation. Please go back and watch it. You're going to learn a few tips and a few things that you might want to know. Now, what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be going through we're going to walk through the greatest highway of your life. The greatest highway of your life starts at the front door, being your mouth, and goes all the way down to your rectum. You know the story, rectum almost killed him, because the large intestine is 85% of your immune system. What I'm going to be doing here today, and I know that this is a family day and you're really busy trying to get things ready and getting all that food ready. But I'm going to be doing about a 1 hour lecture right here on the digestive tract that I promise you will be more information and truthful information. And you know those guys that you go to, what are they called? Oh yeah, medical doctors, that's right. They don't know anything about the mouth to the rectum except when it's wrecking you, and it's called a disease. And there are no diseases, there's just symptoms. So no matter where they say that there is a disease in your body, disease just means that your tissue's rotting. First, what happens is it inflames to the point that it burns up the oxygen, it burns up the minerals, it drops the pH down, becomes very acidic. The body sends in fibrin to stop it from spreading, sends in calcium to stop it from spreading around. But there are no diseases, and you've been ruled, schooled, and fooled. You actually think that you're going to a healthcare system, but it's not. And I'm not going to keep talking about that. But the reality is this: why don't you watch this video and then go and test your doctor, and he won't even know what you're talking about. He doesn't even know what goes on from the mouth to the rectum. Okay, and that's a true story. And then what we're going to do is about a 10-minute break after this one. I'm going to come over to the bowel chart, and I'm going to talk about the most important thing is your large intestine. And most of you are trying to kill it, and for most of you, it lays like a dead snake in the bottom of your pelvis, on top of your bladder, your uterus, and your ovaries, and then you wonder why you're infected and inflamed, and why you have to have hip surgery, knee surgery, why you have to have that fibroid tumor cut out, why you have cysts on your fallopian tubes, why your prostate is on fire. Well, because you're pooping on it. You're pooping all around it, and we'll be talking about that later. So let's talk about from the front door to the back door, which is a 30-foot highway approximately. Now understand something, okay? People eat, they don't nourish. Do you know how many people are going to be eating to the point of, honey, are you full yet? Why would you say that to anyone? Why would you fill people up? Why wouldn't you feed people? What if we started saying to everyone, even though, it might sound awkward, it might sound different, but if you don't find different, then you're not going to be different. Why don't you say, hey everybody, it's time to nourish. Now that sounds awkward, doesn't it? But everybody, it's time to eat. That's all we do is eat. And do you ever notice the word eat? Okay, eat has no thought behind it. When I say nourish, you're actually thinking about something that would actually heal your body, something that would actually go into your body and bring the vibration up, that would bring the frequency up. And remember something, the higher the vibration of the food, everything lower than that gets kicked out. So you can't detox if you're not going to be on a higher vibrational diet than you were yesterday. So understand, if you're not willing to change your thinking high vibrational, which would have you changing your diet to be more high vibrational, because how many people realize when you eat something, when you drink something, all of it leaves your body. All of it. How many people know that not one piece of anything physical, whether it was liquid or solid, stayed in your body? How many people know that everything physical about you was actually made from the light or the darkness that was in it? Because what is darkness? Absence of light. And what are you trying to eat for? You are eating the captured light. Well, you can't eat captured light and something dead, new and improved, or processed. You can't do that. Now, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to take in the frequencies and we're trying to take in the light. That's all, nothing else. Wait a minute, that's not true, Daryl. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm a dietitian. I'm a nutritionalist. And you're trying to get the A, B, C, D, E, D vitamins. And I'm going, really? And you're trying to get the minerals. And I'm going, really? No, it's not true. Yes, you are, but you aren't. Did you know that a smile, okay, a smile that releases complete dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, okay, the vibration of that smile, the vibration of real love for yourself has every vitamin and mineral in it. That's right. That's right. That's why you could have 10 people eating the same diet and they all have different conditions. Because it's their personality that creates their reality. But what creates a personality is actually belief systems. What actually creates belief systems are thoughts. What actually creates those thoughts is the image. So what if you have a really crappy image of yourself or the world or your family or what's going on? Well, then you're going to feel like crap. So just know this. They want you to feel like crap. Because when you feel like crap, what do you eat? Crap. You eat crap. When's the last time that you were totally depressed and totally angry that you made a salad? Well, if you did, it was a finger salad because you chopped the shit out of your fingers. You know, so understand something. And when's the last time that you went, oh my God, I've got to have a salad now? See, we're not addicted to the things that love us and heal us and bring us up. So we want to start nourishing, not eating or feeding. Look at it. You don't want to feed your body. You want to nourish your body. And now we know that nourishing our body. Now, why is it that all of the physical liquid, because it's the physical, why is the physical liquid and the physical food that we bring in, why does it have nothing to do with creating what we become? Come on, try. Come on, just give it a shot. Okay? I won't shine the camera on you. I won't tell them your name. See, everybody's worried about being made fool of. Come on, give it a shot. Who wants to give it a shot?
Because the invisible creates the visible.
That's right. The invisible creates the physical. That's right. The psychological creates the biological. That's right. But guess what? It's still not the answer. Okay. That is the answer. No, that is the answer, but it's not the answer I was looking for. So you're wrong. No, but that one. No, you didn't try. You reached the sky. Remember something. You're never going to let anybody ever put you down again. You're never ever going to feel bad because someone tried to make you feel bad. Because understand, hurt people, and we know that 80% of the population is hurting right now, and that's minimal. That's minimal. That's minimal. When almost 86 to 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, that means that they had to be attacking themselves before on a psychological level before they were on a biological level, right? So what's the answer? That's your third answer. You said two things. 3 times, that's it, baby. 3 times and you're out. Or you're in.
It's the frequency that's left in your body that creates who we are.
It's the frequency that's left in your body that creates who we are. You're absolutely right, but that's not the answer. Okay. No, it's not the answer I want. Okay? Okay, all right.
Say the question.
Okay,
again,
this is my lecture. I get to pick it.
Say the question again, please.
Okay. Why is it that the only thing that matters when we eat or drink is the actual light and frequency within the food?
Because we are light energy beings.
Bam! Because we're light energy beings. You come with a spirit and you leave with your spirit. You come with When you come here, you leave with 100% of what you came with. And the reality is, we don't need everything that they tell us we need. We are everything already. You know, it's like this. Oh, he's arrogant. Oh, he's got an ego. Oh, he's too cocky. No, I am a spirit being. I am not spiritual. I am a spirit being, and I'm going to act like it. And I am not going to dumb myself down for the majority of the population that has been ruled, schooled, and fooled and don't know that they have. I'm going to love them anyway, no matter what they think of me. Do you understand? No, we should understand. Because until you understand, otherwise go inside yourself and find that omega alpha, find that God spot in your heart, you never started living anyway. And understand that was raped from you from 0 to 7, from your parents that were programmed. God loved them all. So understand, our parents, they made us eat. They made us eat. They did not nourish us because they didn't know better. You eat everything on your plate, even though you didn't like it. And guess what? A baby and a young child know what they need. I mean, when an animal is not feeling well, it doesn't eat. But we will just shove that food right down people's mouths because it's like this. I guarantee you that at least 3/4 of you, if I step on your foot, your mouth will drop open.
I stand with you today.
Well, I guess I just flipped your lid. Okay. All right. So, when we're talking about something serious, let's do it humorous because guess what? The things we remember in our life are first traumas, and that's the dirty trick. And the second thing is celebrations. So we need to make and take all our traumas and make them into a celebration. So how can you take all the traumas in your life and make it into a celebration? Because most of you swallow those traumas and, you know, they first go into your stomach, and that's why you're sick to your stomach about your life. So we will be talking about therapeutic vomiting when we come back tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to talk about why therapeutic vomiting is 10,000 years old. And that therapeutic vomiting, everybody needs to do it because they shove so much shit down our throat emotionally, okay, and try to make us believe it, right? Yeah. Okay, like, you know, bird will be the word for the next while, okay, and it's coming for us, okay? So make sure you watch my new video that'll be out in about 10 days. Make sure if you haven't watched my video called Milk the Monkey and the other one called Crack the Coconut, now we're going to be doing one that's going to be called Bird's the Word, and this one you're really going to enjoy, okay, because it's all about enjoyment. It's about getting the message out and still having a smile on your face. No matter what's going on in the world, don't buy into their BS, okay? This is your life, and bloody well, take it back. Now, so, first of all, let's establish this so we get it again. Okay, who's in charge of almost all the major food corporations in the world? The tobacco industry, that's right. So, as I said earlier, first the tobacco industry had all the doctors, all of them, maybe 1 out of 1,000, 1 out of 10,000, who really knows, that they believed that if they could get their patients smoking, they were exercising their lungs. So this is the guys you want to follow. So understand, so remember something, everything is a program, and people can be programmed. So guess what? Do you know why they wore white coats? Because they're dark as hell, and you need to wear white to try to give the illusion that you're pure.
Wow.
Okay? It's, you know, it's all psychological warfare, baby. All right? And doctors are not doctors, or physicians, or surgeons. They know nothing from the mouth to the rectum except, guess what? We'll keep an eye on that for you. Well, where do they live? Under your bed, behind the toilet? Okay, well, they got cameras? Well, they'd love that. Okay, the reality is this, they don't know what they're talking about. They're not going to keep an eye on it. When they say they're going to keep an eye on it, you're going to come back weekly, monthly, and every time you go, you're going to be crapping your drawers because you want to know what their answer is going to be. Am I going to be good till the next visit? And understand something. They're going to keep an eye on it until it's big enough to cut out. They're going to keep an eye on it to ask you how much pain you're in, because then the more pain you're in, the more dangerous the drugs you're going to take. And when those drugs cut off your emotions, your feelings, and that's what you're supposed to be. You know, you're supposed to feel your way through life, and you're supposed to mind your own business and love and care for yourself and not buy into everybody's heartache, break. My heart is breaking, my heart is empty, my heart's in pieces. Okay, the world's always going to be like this. That's how they keep us controlled. So the reality is when they give you these drugs, like your friend, okay, so it's cutting off her pain, right? Did you know her inflammation never went away? The only thing that takes inflammation away is guess what? Living in a more parasympathetic way, dumping dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, and drinking like lots of structured water, hot water, getting on a high vibrational diet and get the cork out of her butt. So, but if she doesn't do this, she doesn't reduce the infection on an emotional and physical level, so the inflammation is still there. And what drugs do is they cut off the gut-brain connection. It's not the gut, it's the large intestine. We'll talk about that earlier. So your large intestine is the one that signifies and tells you and collects the information about the pain you're in your body, and then sends that information into the spinal fluid that runs up your spine to your brain to tell your brain what chemicals and hormones to send down. But now you're on the drugs, so you cut off the gut-brain connection, which is the brain large intestine connection. So now you're getting fried like a burger on the burner, and you no longer can feel it. So that's why they then tell you that now you're all beef jerky here and you're bone on bone, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. We haven't had anybody go for hip surgery, knee surgery, spinal surgery in a few years. Now, I'm not telling you that everybody comes to us, but people that are booked only a few days from now will end up coming, and will prove they don't have to go, that your body will grow the cartilage back, will grow the tendons, ligaments, the tissue back, and the bones, and that God is great. And when we understand that everything is based on frequency, and if we can bring up our vibration, remember that vibration turns things on and off. Tell me it doesn't. When you're depressed, you get depressed, that was a frequency that turned you off, because it had to turn you off, because if it didn't turn you off, you would have stroked out or had a heart attack, because you were running an anxiety program and you were burning your brain like you were burning the burger on the barbecue. So it had to shut down the computer, which that's the only thing a brain is, a computer and a chemist. It's not intelligent, only if you have intelligent beliefs. And nobody has intelligent beliefs hardly when it comes to nourishing. They only have beliefs about eating. So when I'm hungry, I feed myself. And understand something, when I will go tonight and do it. Even at the end of the day, I'm like, oh gosh, should I, it's been, doing all this stuff, but I'll do it. I'm going to walk through Sprouts, which is a better health food store, than Whole Foods, and most of them, but still 80% of the food in there, and it'll say totally organic, and it has canola oil in it, or it has corn syrup in it. It has gum in it. It has gum in it. Okay, the stuff is crap. People are paying big bucks, and here's what happens. Just know this. So you think that the tobacco industry is only in the supermarket, and it's only in the corner store, and the corner store should not be called a corner store. It should actually be called what? Okay, a cancer store. No, it's a cancer store. That's all it's for. It's to rot the teeth out of the kids, and it's for you get your cigarettes, and it's where you get all your chemicals so that you can poison yourself, so that you can get infected, and then you can get inflamed. And all it is it's a drugstore. Okay, a corner store is a drugstore. So then you're going to go and then buy drugs to numb out the pain they've got in a corner store. They've got the drugs that will create the inflammation and the pain, and also the mutation. And then you get to go to the doctor to then numb out the inflammation and the pain that the cancer store caused. Okay, but the supermarket's the same. Supermarkets right now, 95% of the foods in there aren't worth eating. Okay, so just know when I go there tonight, about probably 75%, they won't be as toxic, but they're not healthy. You have to read labels. You actually have to be a critical, logical thinker today if you don't want to be a stinker today. And I say stinker because you shouldn't have any smelly armpits. You shouldn't have a smelly anus. You shouldn't have a smelly vagina. Okay? You shouldn't. Why do people who are older smell like pepperoni and soap? Well, that's actually the fungus oozing out of them. Okay? And understand something. your armpits should never smell. They should never smell. You should never have to use deodorant. Isn't that something? Sweating is something, but you shouldn't have to use deodorant. And people are going, that's not true. Look at, we have been so ruled, schooled, and fooled. So understand, do you believe that your skin eats? Your skin is the largest detox organ in the body. Your skin is the actual mirror to your large intestine. So how's your skin? You know, I'll be 76, so you know, it seems to be okay. What do you think?
76.
Is there, I mean, I'll be 67. Well, that's because I've been really busy. Now I'm ass backwards. Okay, so let's keep moving here. So let's talk about it. So the front door, the back door. Now look at this. You got to go in here. What kind of moron, that's a moronic belief, would actually say that? Or, you know what, I've heard that people, they drank enough water and they drowned. Well, maybe if their face fell in their cup. You know, first of all, you need to understand that we're talking about nourishing, we're talking about what goes in the mouth. You need to do 3/4 of an ounce for every pound. So figure it out. 3/4 of an ounce for every pound, and that cannot be Gatorade, which is cancer causing. Oh, isn't that nice? You know, all I see now is kids doing Gatorade, not pop, but Gatorade. Oh, I want to get my electrolytes, right? And then we've got another family that's totally unconscious. Why don't they just read the label? Nobody reads the label. Read the label of everything. And then guess what? You can't stop reading the label. If you hear that a corporation has bought somebody out, you cannot buy the products anymore. They're not called corporations. They're called mutations. And that's what it is all about. Whether you believe it or not, this has got to be the most fun-filled planet, not in the universe, but in this galaxy maybe, okay? Because you come down here and then everybody's trying to kill you. Your family's trying to kill you. Wait until you see when you go over to your family's house for Easter dinner and what they're feeding you. Holy crap. And I do mean holy crap, okay? Yeah. God loved them anyway. So the reality is this, everyone. I just got to tell you, you're going to overeat this weekend, so you better overdrink. You cannot drink enough structured water this weekend with black diamond in it to suck up the acid, to suck up the heavy metals, or you're going to have heartburn. You're going to have a brain burn. Now, the other thing is everybody, if you're on your way over to Grandma's house right now, stop off at the store and get yourself HCl, hydrochloric acid capsules. Now, what I want you to do, if there's animal products in the meal and there's starches like Meat and Potato Man or anything like that, what I want you to do is I want you to take, if you're a bit of a overeater, like that doesn't happen, eh? You know what? If you're burping and a farting. Okay, so if you should be doing 3 hydrochloric acid capsules before the meal today. Do 2 if you're not an overeater. And then if you get ours, it's called Digest Complete. You want to take 8 to 10 of those and about 20 minutes into the meal. Guess what? Everybody's going to be laying on the couch like this. Watch. How you feeling? Oh, I just feel tired. I want to rest here for a while because things are rotting inside. Okay, because I didn't chew it. I just kind of swallowed it in chunks. I didn't food combine it. And because, you know, I don't look after myself, I don't make enough hydrochloric acid in my stomach. So basically, it's putrefying. I've got a bit of heartburn right now. And then by the time it goes another 22 feet, it should be bloody well rotten. I'll have my own manure pile down here. And, you know, I will have to leave before 8 o'clock tonight because if I fart, the wallpaper's gone.
Happy Easter.
So anyways, if you get the hydrochloric acid capsules and then you take the digestive enzymes, you're going to be at the end of it all going, hey, what do you guys want to do? Let's go for a walk. Let's play a game. You know, because the reality is you're going to find everybody else is like going to be falling asleep. Oh, let's just watch something. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, the bird flew. Yeah, okay. Dog died. Okay, and it's working its way up the chain. You know, the reality is that we eat ourselves into a what? Coma. And guess what? What is the intestine that's mainly in a coma? The large intestine. Guys, why don't you look around? 80% of the population looks pregnant, men or women, and young children look pregnant. And that's because they're rotting. So, you know, you're not just rotting, your food's not rotting, your tissues are rotting. Every autoimmune disease means rotten tissue. If you're able to open up the skin, you'd smell it, it'd be rotting tissue. Do you hear me? It's rotting tissue. Rotten food, rotten tissue. Rotten food has bad vibration. Bad vibration is going to create mutation, inflammation, then mutation. And cells only mutate to try to see if they can live longer. And then if they mutate too far, then they become a cancer cell, which is what? Unlimited for its living, until you can change the vibration again. Because vibrations turn things on, turn things off. Hey, has anybody ever turned you on? Has anybody ever turned you off? I'm probably turning you off right now. So the reality is if people can turn you on and turn you off if you're not in control of your emotions. And if you're not in control of your diet, you're going to turn your cells on and your cells off. 1 minute they're an autoimmune disease because and what does autoimmune disease means is that the body's actually attacking your cells. Too many foreign objects are being caught and sticky. You know that sticky glicky food? It's sticking and glicking to your cells. It's sticking and glicking to your intestines. Okay. So anyways, let's talk about eating. First of all, guys, let's just try to do this, okay? Is the family getting together for most people, right? Yes? Okay, so is the damly getting together? The damly? And it is the damly because guess what? Do not bring any BS to this Easter dinner. Do not talk about COVID. Do not talk about the bird, okay? Do not talk about any news crap. Don't bring crap to the table. Allow people to come there and have a beautiful meal. Why don't you compliment everybody at the table? Why don't you make the kids smile? Why don't you make the kids laugh? Stop being an adult that's adulterated. Okay? When you come into that home this weekend, see if you can hug everyone, love everyone, and tell how beautiful they are and how much you love them, how much you just know that they are the light. Okay? So understand that. Just keep your mouth shut. See if you can do that. See if you can not be the terrorist. And understand something. I can be accused of this. When we were younger and when I first had children, it would be like this. And it wouldn't be this so much for me, but it was for my wife. That's where we could capture the little buggers and get them. No wonder they had digestive disorders. You don't do that. You leave that stuff alone. You don't put people into fright and flight at the table. Because when you're in fright and flight at the table, all your energy, all of it, goes to your arms and legs. So now the food is not digested. So you just wasted your money that you fed your children or your wife or your husband with. So can we just stop it? That needs to be a place where we bless the food, we bless each other. And that's got to be a place where we chew everything. So we drink our solids and we chew our liquids. And here, and just so you know everyone, okay? The more you cook, the worse you look. The more you fry, the sooner you die. And that's it. Cooked food is cooked food. I've been cooking all day. Well, you just keep cooking the life out of that. A good cooked meal. You see, we're set up, aren't we? A good home cooked meal. I poured my heart on this one. You know? I'd rather somebody made me a blender drink and a salad. And then we had some energy to go swimming. Okay? Didn't give me a bunch of denatured food. Remember something, you're nourishing yourself, so ask yourself, where's the vibration? Where's the vibration of a donut? Zero. It's zero. It doesn't bring in a vibration. Okay, and the vibration of antibiotics is below zero. That's why it makes the yeast into actually fungus, and that's why the fungus then drills holes through your large intestine, and that's what autoimmune disease is, the holes in your large intestine. So everything has a vibration, and they know that. The antibiotics were meant to turn the yeast into fungus, drill holes in you, and and now you're pooping into your pelvis and pooping into your bloodstream, and now the fungus is going throughout the body, and that's what we call systemic candidiasis. All right? So, do you ever notice something when you take a look at something? Or you smell food, what happens? Your mouth waters. Okay, well, it's getting ready. Yeah, you know that's salivation that's happening in your mouth? Well, that should be a celebration, so try to make it and leave it in there long enough that you are drinking your solids and chewing your liquids and mixing it with the enzymes. And remember something, the more you chew your food, the smaller the particle. Now, hydrochloric acid, okay, and all the digestive enzymes that are made from your pancreas and the salivary glands in your mouth, they can only wrap around the outside. So if you're taking your food down in chunks, you will only digest the outside of the chunk. So the inside of the chunk, by the time it gets into the small intestine, will be starting to not ferment, because fermentation is what food does, that's natural, but it'll start putrefying in your small intestine, which is causing you lots of problems, like you wouldn't believe. It'll actually get rid of the hair, which are called villi in your small intestine, along with the inflammatory chemicals and poisons that you decide you want to take in. But the reality is you have to understand that, you know, when people say, I eat fermented food, well, so do I. A blender drink of fresh fruit is fermented by the time it gets to my large intestine. Thank you very much. A salad is fermented by the time it gets to my large intestine. And it's the fermentation of these foods that helps to feed the bacteria. So just so you know that. So I'm not really big on people doing a lot of fermented foods. You can actually get yourself into trouble, and you can actually stir up and make candidiasis worse. So just know that. The body is meant to be fermented at a certain point. Do you think that taking fermented food in your mouth when it's supposed to be fermented in your large intestine is a really cool thing to do? Well, yeah, you can do a little bit if you want, but that's called an antidote. It's not called a meal, and it's not called consistent. You don't want that. Okay. So anyways, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at food and ask ourselves, will this nourish my body? Oh my God, what if you just asked that one question? Will this nourish my body? You know what? 90 to 95% of all the food that people eat would not be eaten. You could not eat it. I just told you that 95% of the food in the supermarket, no, it's actually 98, sorry. 98% of the food in the supermarket, because guess what? And the other thing is when you walk into Sprout, which is an organic market, all you hit is fruits and vegetables that have been sprayed. Mm-hmm. To get the organic, you got to walk to the back. So they are setting you up. You'll come in and go, oh, organic supermarket. Oh my God, look at the price of these grapes. Oh, wow. So everybody's getting sucker punched, okay? You'll know when a corporation starts to move in when they start playing games like this, okay? All right, it almost got me last night. Oh, wow, I tried the grape and I went, wow, these do taste pretty good, but no. Now, if you cannot afford organic fruits and vegetables, you need to get a structured water unit. If you get a structured water unit, does anybody have a structured water unit here? Can I see one?
Oh, no, not here.
Nobody has one here?
I took it.
Okay, it'd be great if somebody would bring it in and everybody could structure their stuff, because most people here won't be structuring. And if they could drink structured, they'd know the difference. But anyways, if you put your fruits and vegetables in structured water, you'll neutralize the chemicals. Okay, you'll neutralize the chemicals. And people don't believe this, but at least do that. I can't afford that. Okay, fine. Okay, then just don't get, but make sure you drink, you know, and remember this one? Oh yeah, I eat processed food because fruit and vegetables are sprayed and I can't afford organic. Remember that one?
Yes.
Okay, that was all put out by the tobacco industry. Okay, so what kind of person even thinks like that? So we've got something that's made from the ground, okay? Yes, it's got sprays on it, but you're better to eat that okay, than new and improved food or anything that was ever processed. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now. These psychos, okay, that actually are going to control all the food except for what you grow within the next, I'd say, 20 years, they're going to buy up everything, okay? And just know this, we are asleep at the wheel. And they don't care. They don't care about you. And they'll poison you until you're no longer here. Do you know what? You either have the power of love or the love of power. Okay, and just understand something. 90% of your brothers and sisters can be paid with money to hurt you, to poison you. So human beings are not high vibrational unless they work on being, unless they have high vibrational images, high vibrational thoughts, and high vibrational emotions. And if they don't eat high vibrational food, they're not high vibrational. So take a look at the people that watch the news, that eat crap. I don't want to talk to them. I am going to send them all the love in the world, but I don't like their beliefs, and I don't want to get close. I don't want to get close. I don't want their energy, and they don't want mine, do they? Right? They don't want mine, because I'm the wacky guy, okay? All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that everything that we eat and drink, we're going to ask ourselves, will this nourish my body? Will this bring my vibration up? Will this give me energy? And remember something, the more higher vibrational it is, anything below it. Okay, do you understand that there's a whole frequency scale, right? And in that frequency scale, let's say if I eat at this frequency, just above this, what kind of detoxification am I going to have? What if I eat here? I will be kicking out everything that's lower vibrational. I will be kicking out. What if I go this high? Look at the detox. So if I eat high vibrational foods long enough and strong enough, then that creates a program that I'm high vibrational. Holy smokes. You getting this? You got to do it long enough and strong enough to make a pathway. Now, if I'm the what we would call the normal person, okay, and the normal population, okay, of people that eat crap and think they have a good diet, okay, is not 99 out of 100. It's 999 people out of 1,000. So 999 people out of 1,000 are eating crap, poisonous food all the time. Now, if I were to take that person and put them on a perfect day diet or a high vibrational diet too quickly, they would have diarrhea and vomiting, and they'd have fever, because everything that's below that is getting its butt kicked and saying you're going to leave through the front door, the back door, or you're going to be sweating it out, or you're going to have a fever to try to burn it off. But so let me take it back. We can take a person that has an autoimmune disease, which is all the way up to stage 4 cancer. We can put them on an advanced water fast, as long as we put them on what? The proper nutraceuticals, like black diamond, black gold, because it will suck up all the heavy metals, all the acidity, and all the infections, so they don't have to experience it when it's getting kicked out of the cells. People don't get this. Oh, you know what? Most natural practitioners will go, well, I'm going to put you on a detox and you're probably going to have a healing crisis. Nobody has a healing crisis on our program. You're going to have fever, probably diarrhea and crap all over the room. And probably should stay home. And you're going to feel really crappy. No. And the other thing is that what most practitioners do is they go, and they advertise. You'll see it all the time. Hey, it's time to do your 6-month cleanse. Now, why would you eat like crap and then go and do a deep cleanse that would actually kick the living crap out of your organs that already have chronic fatigue? They can't handle it. Why wouldn't you want to create a perfect day, which I'll be doing a perfect day lecture on Wednesday, and I'll be going live at 7 Eastern Standard Time. Anyways, why wouldn't you want to do a perfect day every day and never have to do a cleanse? Now, mind you, there's people that come to me and I go, okay, let's get you on a perfect day. And then let's get you doing an advanced water fast. Not a water fast, because You can't do a water fast today, and if you're not using structured water, you're going to be in big trouble. People still use distilled and reverse osmosis. That will kick your butt. You want structured water. It has 1,000% better hydration into the cells, which means it'll deliver more and it'll bring out more, right? And then you want to use nutraceuticals that won't turn on the Krebs cycle, will bypass it, and won't turn on your digestive tract, but will give you tons of energy and suck up every heavy metal, suck up every parasite, and suck up all the chemical poisoning that they've done to you. You get it? So if we're going to loosen it up, let's lock it down with black diamond and black gold, and let's bring the vibration up with high nutraceuticals, like with infinite iodine, like with fulvic, okay? With ionic calcium therapy. Like, just let's really bring the vibration up, because everything's vibration. Okay. So everything we need to take a look at is always going to be on the scale of what? Vibration. And where is it? Now, let's talk about this. Every time I go and I visit with my mother, and I'm there for more than an hour, it takes me 3 days to get over it. So that means you need to be out of there in 59 minutes. Okay, so everything is vibration. You got to know what your tolerance level is. Like, do you know how many women here have dysfunctional relationships in this room? So you women think that you can take all these tools and strategies that you're learning here, and you're going to go change the man that you haven't been able to change in 10 years, 20 years. And you also think that you're going to be able to go home and live in the same house and keep your vibration up and enjoy your life. What a bunch of BS. I need a drink. Carrot juice. All right. So once the food comes in, we want to connect to our breath, put a slight smile on our face. Why? Because we actually exist. And if you're eating a healthy diet, that means that something has given up its life to give you life. And we should not feel bad. Do you know why? Because we are, in some aspects, most people anyways, not most, some. I hope more will take on this. We're high vibrational beings. And what do you want to become? What is the desire of everyone, even if they no longer have it? Like, you know, a long time ago, thousands of years ago, everybody wanted to become more high vibrational. That's what Buddha, Jesus, I could keep going through it. They were all looking to become higher vibrational. Why? Because you're getting more connected to source, and you can blow off of this planet. As long as you are addicted to low vibrational people, food and drink and drugs and everything like that, you're always going to be a slave on this planet. You're never getting off this planet. See, that's my belief. You can go ahead and believe that as soon as you're a good person, you leave here, you get to go, and then you get to sit on a cloud with God for eternity. But the reality is I'm not going for that one, okay? I decided to make up my own story, one that would actually make me want to become a higher vibrational being, and at least change by 1% every day. That's, you know what? I'm going to make up my own story. And if we were to check everybody's heavenly story out here, would it all be different? And guess what? Long as your story is causing you to be an inspiration to yourself, not perspiration, and as long as it's bringing up your frequency and your vibration, and it's causing you to be happier and with your life and minding your own business and creating the life that anybody would want, then who cares what it is? Who cares what your story is? Okay, long as it's a beautiful story. But remember something, everybody's telling a story. So you know what? You got to ask yourself, do I want to hang around with that person that's telling that story? They're going to just tell the same story all the time, because only 1 out of 10,000 people actually change their personality on this planet. Do you understand that yet, Debbie?
Oh, I understand it perfectly.
Yeah, I know. But most people, when they take the course here the first time, they don't believe it. Most people think that they're going to come home, they're going to go home with all these strategies, and they're just going to change everybody. You'll be changing your diaper, that's about it. I'm going to tell you something. The only thing you can change, okay, is how you react to things. And the only thing that you can change is how much you're going to love and care for yourself. And the only thing you can change is how you're going to breathe. Okay? All right. So anyways, the food's going to come in. What are we going to do? We're going to make sure that the food is combined properly. Nobody even talks about food combining anymore. That's gone. There's just too many buffets. No, I'm not food combining. Look at this. Am I wrong?
No.
Everybody eats like pigs. And that's why people are so fat today. And I'm not putting anybody down because they are fat. They're made of fat, yes or no?
Yes.
So what should I say? Because they're not overweight, they're overwaste. They've got so much waste in them. And when you're overwaste, you have to make fat. Does anybody understand that the more infected foods you bring in, the more inflammation you're going to create? So infection and inflammation need fat cells. Why? Because that's where it's going to be stored. Because if it didn't, you'd stroke out, you'd have a heart attack. Okay? So the fatter you are, is the more fat you have to make to store infected, inflamed, emotional, and physical habits. That's it. And then a lot of these people, I'm not saying all of them, so it's better to be overweight than underweight. If you can't gain weight, then you're in big trouble. And you need to really think about that. And the problem is your mind's not stopping. You're so acidic and the worms are having a good party. That doesn't mean you don't have worms if you're overweight. You do, because you have a manure pile. Every manure pile has worms. We'll talk about that later. Okay? Now, food combining. So if I'm going to eat a protein, I'm not going to eat it with starch. Well, that's not going to work. How many people are having meat and potatoes today? So you better make sure if you're going to do meat and potatoes, you better chew that food well. Because when you eat a protein and you eat a starch, you have starch enzymes and you have protein enzymes, and they neutralize each other. And that's why, guess what? Here's the deal. Go watch The Meat and Potato Man. It's a comedy that I put together. And it's 24 hours in the life of the so-called meat and potato couple. Okay? And it's in my library. Now, the Meat and Potato Man comes from, hungry. I've had a hard day and I'm hungry, honey. Where's my food? Gives them a big plate of food. It's not food combined properly. It's always going to be meat and potatoes. Why do you know it's going to be? Because everything is programmed. Oh yeah, and there'll be sauces there, and there'll be lots of bread, and bread's dead. There's no such thing as good bread. I will eat bread rarely. And understand you should eat a lot of bread. You want to get rid of your love handles, get rid of bread because it's dead. Oh yeah, but mine's made out of organic almond flour. Okay, or organic coconut. No, you can't. Flour, it's like cocaine, okay, and it goes so fast into the body. So bread, would you say it was heated and treated? Okay, so it's just a couple levels above sugar. Yeah, but my mother makes it and it's so good. Yeah, okay there, love handle. Okay, now, so, and I'm not trying to pick on you, but that's where you get this. That's where you get this, okay? All right? So, I've worked all day, I'm starving. He sits down and he starts eating because he's not, guess what? He actually is starving. He's starving emotionally, but he's also starving nutritionally because guess what? What turns on and what turns off hunger? What turns on hunger is the absence of a vibration and a frequency. That vibration, that frequency comes from nutrition, like minerals, like vitamins, like antioxidants, like enzymes. Okay, do you understand that? Because that's the electrical force. But what happens when you eat processed food? There's none of that in there, so it's completely empty. So it jacks you up, but then you fall down because there was nothing to stabilize. So now, when he sits down, he's going, and is he chewing his food? No. He's not chewing his food. And guess what? Within just, I'd say, I'll tell you what we'll do here. Do you guys want to do this instead today? I don't know if we have time. But we do this chart, and then we come back after lunch, and then we'll go back and read all the questions that people have. Yeah. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so if you guys want to put your questions on Facebook, and I don't know what it is. It might be Instagram here. I think it is. Let me see. Yeah. No, don't know. I think it's Instagram and Facebook. Okay. But mainly Facebook, if you want to put your questions there. If you want to jump over to Facebook. Oh, or if you guys want to send in your questions, this is a U.S. phone number. You can do it on WhatsApp, or you can do it on my regular phone number, 469-861-8884. And then put your questions there if you have any, I'll check. And then when we come back after lunch, we'll come on and answer these. Do you want to do that for fun? Okay, for fun. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, food combined. Oh, Meat Potato Man. So he starts eating, and within 10 minutes, you're in Texas. No, I'm in Florida. I'll be in Texas next week, and I'll be giving a lecture there. If you go to Facebook, you can see when my lecture is. I have a lecture here this Wednesday. Next week, I'm in Texas, in McKinney, and I'm lecturing there. And you can find that on braveheartnation.com as my whole world tour schedule, along with Dr. Sage Wolfe and the rest of the master practitioners in the pelvic restoration course. So where was I again? Meat potato. Yeah, honey. Jason was looking for the visa, so I just sent him the U.S. visa because you didn't send it, okay?
Okay.
And just know that you're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, so everybody knows that you dropped the ball, not me.
Okay.
I love you. Yeah, I always need witnesses because I don't take responsibility for anything, okay? She didn't know what to do. Okay. So the Meat Potato Man's feeling, he's feeling quite good now. It's 10 minutes into the meal. 15, 20 minutes into the meal, now he's going back down. Because first the sugar hit his bloodstream, but guess what? Now, because it's dead food, miscombined, he didn't chew it, he doesn't have any hydrochloric acid left in his stomach because he has mucus inside of his stomach because he should have learned how to do therapeutic vomiting, okay, to throw up all the BS that they force-fed him all his life. And understand, you would get rid of the emotional and the physical contamination in the stomach. And here's the problem. The problem is that the stomach is called the guard dog of the highway to life. The stomach is the guard dog, and here's the deal. Your hydrochloric acid is totally acidic. Totally acidic. So any bug, bacterial, okay, fungal, or any worm, or any virus, oh BS, virus my butt. Viruses aren't alive. It's got nothing to do with it. Viruses aren't alive. Viruses are man-made poisons and chemicals. Did you know that? Yeah. Oh my God, my little girl, she caught a virus from her daddy. Really? No, we're emotional beings, and we actually catch the frequency of sickness because we feel sorry for each other. Why don't you go and look it up, everyone? Virus means poison in Greek. It doesn't mean invisible jumping things. Okay? All right, so anyways.
More than 6 feet though.
Now, where was I? So the hydrochloric acid is really important. So first of all, the hydrochloric acid is like the guard dog at the gate with teeth. When your hydrochloric acid is weak, and guess what? You ready for this? Who here is over the age of 30? Okay, you lost 30% of your hydrochloric acid. Who here is over the age of 40? You lost 40%. You see? Now, who here is over the age of 50? You lost 50%. Who here is over the age of 60? You lost 60%. By the time you're 70, it's called tea and toast. And you can't digest anything anymore. And guess what? Would you like to be able to? Well, you need to go and do an advanced water fast. You need to get on a perfect day diet. You need to do daily cleansing tea and black gold to get the cork out, because guess what? As you get older and you lose your appetite, it's because you have so much dried fecal matter rotting inside of you that it turns off your appetite. Oh, and that same person isn't peeing or pooing good, are they? So there's a little bit of a clue that you're dying. The worse you pee and the worse you poo, it's, hey, baby, you're almost through. Okay, so you need to understand that. Okay, now, so the hydrochloric acid is going to be the guard dog for infection coming in. Again, I'm going to say it again. It's going to be for mold. It's going to be for fungus. It's going to be for worms. And it's going to be for bad bacteria. And understand something. Most people get sick not because of what they ate, but what they swallowed emotionally. And then if something was a little bit off, that was enough to tip the scales. And now I feel sick to my stomach. Now, here's the deal. We will talk about therapeutic vomiting, but that takes a little bit. And therapeutic vomiting can actually help to tip the scale for cancer and autoimmune diseases. It can actually help to get rid of joint pain, body pain throughout your body, headaches, migraines, you name it, and it's going to help to do it. Now, so if your stomach, how many people know that the average person of 50 years old has a 1/16 inch of mucus wrapped on the inside of their large intestine. So now the hydrochloric acid can't get into the stomach. So understand something. If your food does not get bathed with hydrochloric acid and start to get broken down, guess what? I don't care what you paid for it. It's going to rot inside you anyways. So I buy organic and I eat organic, but I can't seem to get well. Okay? I buy organic of everything and I can't get well. Well, that's because you live in hell. You have to remember that you got to food combine, and then you also got to get rid of low vibrational habits and low vibrational people. You're not going to kill them, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to go look for high vibrational people to be with, because we need to be together. How many of your family have changed because of you? How many? Zero. In most cases, okay? All right? And he thinks he changed one.
She's doing the work. Some of the work, right? I think right.
She's doing some of the work.
Yeah, you're right.
But keep with her long enough and strong enough, because she could be one of them.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult, and don't ever beat up on your family, because if they're not changing, I don't blame them. How could they change in a world of people that don't want to change? How could they change in a world that watches the news and watches TV and listens to the BS that everybody dribbles out of their mouth? Okay? That's the truth. All right. So the hydrochloric acid is very important. Okay? So we know that it is the guard dog, and it also has to get in. And the main thing it's really good for, it's good for breaking down animal protein. So, or vegetable protein. And listen, we do know that blood type O's break down animal protein better, but don't try to pretend you're cocky. Don't try to think you're stronger, because blood type O's will wake up with a tumor and cancer or some kind of terrible disease. Because blood type A's like me, if I eat something that's wrong, I feel it right away. I got symptoms right away, talking to me, telling me. Your stronger hydrochloric acid will help you to digest things, and you go, I can eat anything. Well, yeah, and we'll find out if you can eat the tumor that's in your pelvis. We'll find out if you can eat the tumor that's in your breast. We'll find out if you can take care of the fatty liver or the liver cirrhosis. Let's see if you can get yourself from being a pre-diabetic, adult onset diabetes, and get yourself back into feeling good again. Understand, the hydrochloric acid is not, stronger hydrochloric acid for O's is not a positive unless you're going to be eating in a positive, living in a positive way. It will bite you down the road, where I get bit right away because I'm a blood type A. Now, people will follow the blood type diet, and I can tell you, you can take that thing and forget it. You can forget it. Everybody on this planet could be a whole plant-based eater, but not a vegetarian. I don't believe in vegetarianism. Vegetarians are probably the sickest people. They eat all the fake foods, right? The fake meat, the fake cheese. They can eat crackers all day long and peanut butter. You know, they can have noodles, okay? Long as it's not made out of animal products. So I really don't know where that level comes from either, that level of thinking. I believe in 80% of your diet needs to be whole plant-based and as fresh and raw as possible. That's why the blender drinks, that's why the juicing, that's why the salads, That's why the beans, that's why the lentils, that's why the avocado. Do you understand? Okay, so it's all about vibration, it's all about frequency. All right, so anyway, so now it comes down to the stomach. Your stomach here, you see these lines in here? They're called rugae. Your stomach works like a washing machine, and it's trying to mix it all up, get the hydrochloric acid in there to clean everything up in case there's any kind of infection like we talked about, and to break down everything, to get it ready for the small intestine. Your small intestine is 22 feet long. Your small intestine has these little hairs in them. And these little hairs are called villi, and they pick up the micronutrients, okay? But guess what? What if I didn't chew my food? What if I didn't combine it properly? What if I decided that at every meal, you know what? Because wine's so good for me because of the antioxidants, I'm going to drink wine in a meal and then just totally screw myself up. I hope, how many drinks can we have per day and we can call it healthy? Okay, what do they advertise? You should have one a day. And you should have none a day. You should have none a day. And understand, if you can't help yourself and you're an alcoholic, which most people have a few alcoholics in their family, don't they? Yes. Okay, that are destroying the family and themselves. So if you know any alcoholics, you know what you could do is tell them to at least structure the liquor so that it totally doesn't inflame them and destroy them. Once you pour alcohol through a structure unit, guess what? The thing is they will get a buzz faster, but they won't have a hangover, and they won't feel so sick and miserable. Do you understand? So it could be a bad thing too. I don't know. But the reality is once you structure, you pour your beer through, you pour your alcohol through, you're not going to have a hangover the next day. You don't. Because it changes the frequency, even though it's still high in sugar, even though there's 125 chemicals in all wine, minimum, unless it's organic. So you want to pour your wine through a structure unit, okay? If you pour the wine through, it'll smoothen it. If you don't want to pour it all through, just pour an ounce through, and then pour the ounce back into the quart of wine, and you're still not going to have a hangover. Because it's the poison and the sugar that's giving you a hangover, but the frequency gets changed so you don't damage yourself. All right, but you can do that with any liquid, okay? So now we're into the small intestine. That's 22 feet. Okay, now remember something, everything is about inflammation, right? So whenever you hear itis, right? Sinusitis, okay? Arthritis, colitis, it's all itis. Itis means inflammation. And what they're always going to do, if this was a fair playing field, you would never tell someone they have arthritis. You'd say, you've got inflammation in your joints. Because if I told you had inflammation in your joints that was causing your joints to become stiff and big and knotty, you would say to me, well, how do I get rid of the inflammation? Well, you have an inflammatory diet, and you also are a fear-mongerer, and every time you do that, you're dumping adrenaline and cortisol, which is very acidic, which is burning up your tissues and bringing in fibrin that's making it very tough, and you're pulling the calcium from your joints, and you're calcifying your joints now. But all that can be reversed. There's a picture, not a picture, but there's a video. I think her name was Janice, and she had an arthritic joint that was the size of almost a walnut. 20 minutes, I brought it down by 90%. So that's with Wolfe Non-Surgical. We'll give you a money-back guarantee that the world's full of BS when it comes to any itis or any condition. Because there are no diseases, there are just symptoms. And then you get really bad symptoms because you go to practitioners that have been educated really badly. Because there's only bad beliefs, or there's only healing beliefs or sick beliefs, right? There's only poverty thinking or abundant thinking. Abundant people that have abundant thinking don't have money problems. Yeah, and seeing that pretty well everybody in this room has poverty thinking, that's why you struggle to get to the course. How am I doing? And I'm telling you the truth. And I'm not trying to pick on you, because what you got to do is you got to mirror your beliefs and take a look at them, and you got to go, this one's leaving. My God, you know, when I ran the Wolfe Clinic before I walked away from it, you know, the Wolfe Clinic was in the top 100,000 of all the websites in the world. Did you know that? When I was 48 years old. Okay, I left it when I was 52. And it was in the top 100,000 of all the websites in the world. There'd be days, my bad day was 5,000, my good day was 25,000, and then I'd go home and pretend I didn't make any money. Yeah, like I wasn't messed up. But this is because my father had poverty thinking, and I was given poverty thinking, like you were, and you were, and you were, and you were, because that kept us low vibrational, and then we never got to live our dreams. How many of you have missed out on your dreams because you didn't have enough money or enough time? Yeah, okay. Yeah. And the rest of you are just too old to put your hands up. I get it. Okay. So anyway, small intestine's 22 feet long, and everything's still pretty liquidy. That's where you're picking up nutrition through those little hairs called villi. By the time it gets to the large intestine, okay, things are starting to take a little bit more not of a liquidy effect. But here's the problem. Okay. Okay. First of all, how many of you have had cesareans? Okay. All right. Did you know that right now we are up to 60% of the population of women that are getting cesareans, whether they need them or not? Did you know that when you get a cesarean, that when the child doesn't come through the vagina, it's not getting all the bacteria all over its face and in its mouth and its eyes, and you took its immune system? So the next time that you hear somebody going for a cesarean, what are you going to do? You're going to tell them to get an organic sponge 2 inches by 2 inches, and when they go into the hospital, stick that into the vagina, and as soon as the baby is born, and you better tell the doctor you're doing it, it's your child, and then you take that organic sponge, even though it's a little bit smelly, guess what? You want to rub that all over the baby, even across its mouth, its eyes. It'll close its eyes, around its eyes, its skin, under its arms, down in its groin, everywhere. And guess what? Now, the baby came through what? The vaginal canal, even though it didn't. Okay, so you better get that. That's really important. And the other thing is here, okay. It takes 15 minutes for the baby to take all the nourishment from the placenta. To cut the placenta before 15 minutes is crippling the baby for the rest of its life. What is wrong? What is wrong with us? Look at when we're coming out with the pain-free pregnancy course that starts off if a couple want 1 year prior to pregnancy and goes all the way to the child is 2 years. We're going to teach them the non-surgical. We're going to teach them how doctors and corporations are poisoning them and want their baby. They want to feed on their baby. They want to feed on your babies, guys. They want your babies. They want your damn babies. And the reality is guess what? You can get a human being and pay them money. And you know what they'll say to you? I'm just doing my job. You slob. You slob. You slob. And I'm telling you too, you adults better wake the hell up. Because those children that you decide you want to have, they're little spirit beings that come here. And up until the age of 2, when they get to walking and talking, they're acting just like you. So if you touch them, I hope that you burn in hell. I'm kidding, but I'm not. I don't want anybody to burn in hell. But you know what? They act like you. They talk like you. And then you go and you punish them. And then you break their little spirits. And guess what? If we were to tell every parent and teach every parent that if you decide to have a child, that child is going to act like you, talk like you, eat like you, drink like you, think like you, and it's going to try to mirror what you do to help you to raise your vibration. That is your God's gift. Sorry, I didn't mean to say I hope you burn in hell, but I'm telling you right now, I've just had it. I've just had it. What's going on in the world today? Children do not have any protectors left. Okay? The parents have left. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. I would not come to this planet until we get through the harvest. And this harvest is going to last until maybe 2030, 2035. And I'm telling you, unless you're an awake parent, please think twice. I really don't care what the herd thinks when I say this. And that means the majority. Because if there's only maybe 2 people on here out of 1,000 that go, holy crap, he's logical, and the rest don't like me, I don't care. What about the children? Don't give me any crap about the children. You know, I was coming here in the car today, and you know what it said? Take 15 minutes out of your day. Don't be so selfish, and donate money to the Cancer Association. What are you, like, out of your skull? Now, there's nobody awake out there. You got to understand that all the media, all the radio, all the TV, all the newspapers, and 99.9% of the population are all programmed, okay, to feed off our children. And cancer, there's no cure for cancer. You can shut down inflammation. That's what cancer is an inflammatory problem of mutation. You can shut that down. But, you know, that's got to be the person. That's why it comes back the second time, the third time, and then you're hasta la vista baby. And understand something. Why would we go and tell people to go get chemo? And why would you even go get chemo? Don't you see the results of everybody going to get chemo? What's wrong with us? And then guess what? 2.3% of the population that got chemo is alive. No, is not alive by the 5th year. Real Good Energy Medicine and Natural Health, and it's not me. Go take a look. Go find someone else that you really like. Don't come to me if you don't want. But guess what? We'll have a rate of anywhere from 70 to 90% still into the 10th year. Do you understand? You know what? When they tell you that you only have so long to live, what if you weren't a statistic? What if you weren't the average 40-year-old woman with that breast cancer, with that tumor that size, and you decided to change your personality that would change your reality because you're a spirit being? I call BS. Things need to change. Okay, so anyways, we're going to come. Calm down, Daryl. Calm down. Where's my medication? It's right here. Okay.
In your bottle.
Okay, so anyways, so when it gets to the large intestine, it's got to come through the cecum. That's a doorway. That's a one-way door, but it's not. Do you know why? Because you ate glicky, sticky food. You haven't got any tone left. I mean, how many people in this room are like this? I got it really. Oh, yeah. So, how's it going, Jim? Yeah, it's going good. Yeah, get any wishes lately? Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You can walk around and look like you're 18 months pregnant. Like you're ready to blow, baby. And nobody says a word. And most of the time I'll be looking at me going, okay, she looks healthy. And him. I mean, really? Is he that unconscious? I mean, this thing is sticking out to here. And you know, what a beautiful woman. She's got his hand and there, she's smiling, looking at him. It's not your fault, honey. It wasn't the 20 beers and the 8 burritos. You know, they don't have to do a thing, do they? Hey, all you psychos that are trying to kill us, you're on holiday now. Because guess what? You strategized well. Why don't we strategize? Why don't we strategize to have the perfect day from the moment we rise till we close our eyes? Why don't we strategize to find out how we can love and care for each other? Whether you want to believe it or not, I will choose to love the whole world, whether it loves me or not. And how is that? Well, because if I hate anything, if I even hate Brussels sprouts, it's going to bring my vibration down. I'm just going to focus on what I love. Okay, so here's some news for you, okay? All right. So when you've got inflammation in your tonsils, those are lymph nodes. When you've got inflammation in your tonsils, guess where it comes from? You ready for this? It comes because you're blocking up, and your appendix is getting blocked up because of waste. So, and because your cecum is getting blocked up, you've got a ball of fecal matter down here. And this is like an alarm system for the tonsils. And how many people know that the tonsils are a lymph node that fight infection so it doesn't get past your throat? So they go and cut your tonsils out. And all you had to do is have a good poop-de-doop. And you get a good cleaning out. And stop eating so much sugar, so much flour, so much dairy, so much dead animals. How many dead animals does it take to become alive? Okay, so the reality is here is that people do not have any understanding that the small and large intestine is a snake, and for most people it's either dead or in a coma and just laying there. And we're going to be talking about that when we come back. Okay? All right? Now, when the waste comes through here, it comes still as a liquid, and then the water starts getting pulled in. Oh my God, you're going to love this one, guys. You know what? Don't drink any water, just pretend you do. Don't drink 3/4 of an ounce for every pound that you weigh. And don't make it warm to hot. And don't make it structured water. Guess what? You'll be pushing down that diaphragm to squeeze out that turd. John, are you coming? I'm coming. So anyways, if your poo floats to the bottom, sinks to the bottom, if your poo has cracks in it, then your immune system is cracking up. That means that you've had to suck the last bit of water back into your body, which is swamp water, because you're so dehydrated. If you drink what I just told you and drink the way I told you, that is 80 to 90% of it right there. A lot of people go, well, you got to eat more fiber. No, you got to drink more water. Water's the key. Look at your stool, because your bowel movements are computer printout. I'm going to prove when I come back here that the large intestine is responsible for 85 to 95% of all pain and suffering. All of it. All of it. And I'm going to prove to you that you were programmed to disrespect your large intestine. I'm going to prove to you that, guess what? You are eating so much chemicals, heavy metals, okay, GMOs, okay, and you are taking those all in and putting them down in your body's compost is your large intestine, 85% of your immune system. And that was a study done by the Royal Society of Medicine. So you are putting all these chemicals and poisons in your large intestine. And guess what? Now what I want you to do, how many people are gardeners that you do a garden? How many people have a compost? Okay, well I want you to put in your compost liquor, ice cream, cookies, okay, pie, donuts, okay. I want you to put all the crap that you shove in your yap, and I want you to put it in the compost, and then I want you to let that compost, and I want you to put it in your garden. How would your garden do? So that's why you have diseases when there are no diseases, there are only symptoms, because you are putting into the compost of your large intestine and it's distorting your bacteria. So now your good bacteria are going bad. How many people know that only 1 out of 100 people have the right rate of bacteria, which means 85% good bacteria, 15% bad? How many people know that 99 out of 100 people have 85% bad bacteria and 15% good? So you can just kiss your butt goodbye and the rest of your health. And understand this, guys, the 6 extinctions here, not everybody's going to leave. The people that love and care for themselves and shine that light on their family and stop judging their family, stop judging themselves, okay, and start saying, I am going to have the best day of my life. I am going to be selfish enough to live my dreams, my passion, and I'm going to have an adventure every day. And every time there's a trauma in my family, I am no longer going to get in line to see who suffers the most when the family suffers, because it's kicking the living crap out of me. So anyways, I'm going to stop right here, and then we're going to start here. Because all I'm going to do when I come back is talk about the large intestine. And that's going to be an hour-and-a-half lecture. And in that hour to an hour-and-a-half lecture, you are going to get more information about the infection and inflammation and all diseases. And guess what? You go and talk to a medical doctor and they'll be like, what? Because the large intestine is just a garbage can to them. But understand, you took the compost and you made it into a swamp. What came first, the mosquito or the swamp? So then you created all these bugs, okay, these bugs. And now, guess what? How many people know that we're mainly made out of bugs? How many people know that bacteria are the smartest thing in the human body? I'll talk about that when I come back. And the reality is this, Our bacteria talk 9 times to our brain, and our brain only talks once to our body. The bacteria that you're trying to kill when you go, when you go in the stores because you want to kill the virus that's not alive, oh my God. You know what? Thank God that we're the smartest species in the universe, okay? I'll leave you with that. We're going to go and take a break, and then we'll be back here in about 10 minutes, and then we'll see if we can get our heads out of our butts. Just know this, everyone. I know I talk differently than other natural health doctors. I know that I get a little sarcastic. I know that I dramatize, but guess what? Those people that are ready to have their coconut cracked, which is only, okay, 1 out of 10,000, but those are the ones I want because those are the leaders, okay, that we're looking for. God bless, and we'll talk to you in a bit.